Eradicator began, there was a race of ancient aliens out there in the depths of space that were dying, and as part of their dying breath, they sent out a bunch of probes into the universe to tell our story.
Sure.
Right? It's like, this is who we were,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And one of them, and some of them, they had some of the members of the alien race went along with them as heralds. It's like, hey, here's who we are. Here's a capsule of our history. Blah blah blah.
Right.
And they showed up on ancient Krypton 200,000 years in the past, and Superman's ancestor Chem-El, not KEM-EL. This was so far back that it was just a letter L. Chem-El.
They added the E later, when they got to Ellis Island or something.
I guess, yeah, they changed it. They Americanized it.
All right.
And Chem-El was a rabid xenophobic racist, a pro-Krypton jingoist, and he was like, "F you, f your probe," and murdered them all, stole their device, and corrupted it. So instead,
so the Eradicator was their device.
Yes. And so he did not invent the Eradicator, but he turned this device into the Eradicator.
Yeah. All I read was that he corrupted it. I
right. And so this thing, he turned this alien archive into a device whose sole task was to preserve the culture and identity of Krypton at any cost. Literally capital A, any cost. If that means showing up on Earth and possessing Superman and having him flatten the entire planet, then so be it. So yeah, Chem-El is
we've all got
dude.
that uncle, right? Come on.
Right. Yeah. And so and then what's more is that he used the Eradicator to alter the genetic code of every Kryptonian so that they could no longer leave the planet. And that's why Kryptonians never explored the stars. They were stuck on Earth, stuck at home.
But this is not a thing anymore. This guy.
They don't really talk. No.
Away,
I don't think.
Right?
I don't really think they've.
Okay.
No. I think they've kind of fallen back.
I had never experienced this, and it was a shock to me.
Yeah.
So I thought I knew Superman.
So post-crisis DC is jumping through a lot of hoops to kind of explain why and how. If Superman, being descended from a very advanced galactic civilization, is somehow the only one left of his kind.
Well, they mean the only one. I mean, really?
At the time, the only one. Even the Supergirl of the time was not Kryptonian.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And so they were like, yeah, well, the reason for that, one of the reasons is that the Kryptonians never left Krypton. Well, wait a minute. We know that they could build space arcs. Jor-El built one. Yeah, but they couldn't leave the planet because of reasons.
He just built it to show he could, or
well, no, it's he only the story about why Jor-El did not build one big enough for the whole family is that he didn't have time.
Well, sure.
All he had was this prototype,
right?
And even that, I think they changed it in post-crisis, where it's it is literally the external computer womb.
Right.
That is growing our weird test tube baby. I put a star drive on it and fired it into space.
He had to give his kid a serum so he could leave.
Yes, he had to tinker with Superman's genetic code so that he could leave the planet. But yeah, so they've added these bits and pieces to the lore of post-crisis Krypton to explain why there's not some long-lost race of Kryptonians that left the planet to explore out there somewhere.
Except for the ones that did and live in a bottle city.
But again, they did not re-establish the idea that Kandor was full of Kryptonians until much later.
Oh, okay. When this was done. All right.
In fact, here's another fun little wrinkle.
Oh boy.
I like I did with most of the stories that we picked this week, I ended up reading huge chunks of this. And during this storyline is the first post-crisis appearance of the Bottle City of Kandor. It is not full of Kryptonians. It is full of kidnapped aliens of multiple species.
Really?
Yes.
Man, I just this is such a blind spot for me.
I know. It's so great. Anyway, but yeah, so Cleric is this alien religious figure that shows up, and he gains a bunch of followers on Krypton. And he's like, Chem-El is crazy. There's no way that you are stuck here. Let's go. And he builds a space arc, and he takes a couple hundred people into space, and they all die a horrible
true cult
death.
fashion. They all die.
Yeah, they hop on the comet, they hop on the Hale-Bopp, and they get out of there. And they die excruciating. Like there are panels of it you can find where it's like they are choking on their own blood. Jesus. And Cleric is just standing there in the ship going, "Whoa!" And so around issue 40-ish of Superman Volume 2 in the 80s, Superman meets Cleric. Superman has gone crazy. He pretended to be Gangbuster. He's like, "Oh shit, I'm too dangerous," and he leaves Earth.
Well, I've missed that too.
No, we've talked about this. I think we even reviewed it on the show. It's like Superman
Gangbuster.
He pretended to be Gangbuster. Gangbuster is a separate guy.
Okay.
But like he was so racked with guilt over his choice to execute the Phantom Zone criminals that he had a mental break, and for a time he was posing as a vigilante named Gangbuster, or like he wasn't in his right mind. And when he realized what he had done, he's like, "I can't stay on Earth. I'm too dangerous. I need to get out of here and get my head right." He exiled himself. And during his time in exile, he met Cleric.
And this is what the Snyder Bros used to say, that it's okay for Superman to kill. Right?
Yeah, right. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The story that broke Superman so bad that he had to leave the planet. But he meets Cleric out in deep space, and Cleric is like, "This is the story of your up planet. By the way, this is the Eradicator. I've been keeping it safe. It's yours now." And then Superman takes it back to Earth, where it like almost immediately like tries to possess him, and it becomes a whole thing. Anyway, yeah, Cleric, Kal-El. It's a real wild scene.
Okay then.